Barbara and I are coming to Pereira, Colombia to have fun. My fun is helping people get out of their own way to make room for more of the magic they are, more of the spiritual expansion, the ascension, the joy, and the healing abilities that are ready to come through them. I was trained in the 1980s and 90s in the United States in how to do this work. And in 2003, I ended up in central Guatemala, realized I was home. That was now, what, 17 years ago. And I began doing the work that I was trained to do in a small community named San Marcos La Laguna on the north shore of Lake Atitlán. And a few months later, I had a visit from a multi-dimensional energy. I'd worked with plant spirit medicine. I'd worked with higher dimensional beings. And in meditation, I had a visit from this big, beautiful energy. And it took me a little while to figure out it was the spirit of chocolate. And I went, this is crazy. This is a joke. Well, I liked the energy and I followed it. And she led me to a rainforest community because where I live, the cacao trees that produce the chocolate, they don't grow here. So I visited a community. I saw the cacao trees growing. I saw the cacao beans, the seeds drying in people's yards. I asked the cacao spirit, and she said, yep, we sent you here. Get some. Now, they didn't have any. They said, if you come back in a week, we'll have some for you. So a week later, I took the buses and the pickup trucks and walked 45 minutes up into the rainforest and got some cacao. Brought it back to where I lived. And the next day, I made myself a cup. An hour later, I sat down with the cacao spirit and said, all right, this is interesting. I've got one of the planet's most important medicine plants running around in my body, and she doesn't work like any plant medicine I've ever had. And like many people, I've been with the shamans from psychedelic using cultures from North, Central, and South America. And this energy was very different. It was not taking me on a trip. And yet the doors were open. So I continued to play with it. And the cacao spirit kept telling me, get on the web, research, learn everything. You know, hey, you're going to become an international expert in chocolate. What? Who, me? You have a lot to learn. You've got to learn not only medical journal stuff, not only anthropological information, not only commodities markets and fair trade and commercial chocolate production, you have to understand everything out there in the raw foods movement about chocolate. And I went, nah, I'm not really interested in that. Let someone else do all that work. Let someone else. I mean, this is so obvious that this kind of chocolate is absolutely amazing. There's at least a dozen people out there that also know this. And I'll bet at least half a dozen of them know how to put up a website. And I don't want to bother with it. And I just want to have fun right here where I am and drink my chocolate, do my meditations, drink chocolate, get high, go deep, help other people, go for a hike on chocolate, connect to the plants, connect to the birds, have fun. Well, 6 months later, there's nothing on the web about this magic medicine plant. And one day I went, oh no, I guess it's my job. I'm going to have to do this. So I spent 3 years traveling from southern Mexico to Panama. I bought a lot of cacao beans. I visited markets. I visited growers. I visited indigenous peoples, many of whom did not even speak Spanish. I would get bags of beans, fill my pack up, fill a box in the truck up. And when I get about 60 of those bags, I'd go somewhere, go to the beach where the ocean is as warm as a bathtub, or go way up in the mountains, way up beyond the trails, way out in the middle of the high altitude cloud forest with orchids everywhere. And one day I went down to the tiny little stream that I had my jungle hammock hung near, where I had dug a little hole that would collect water where I could drink. And in the mud next to the stream was a kitty cat paw print, bigger than my hand. And I've got big hands. And every day I could sample 2 batches of cacao, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I could peel the beans and eat them and learn about the energies. I learned a lot. Back in Guatemala, I learned that even though there's chocolate growing everywhere, I can't go out and buy the kind of cacao with the energies that I really want. So I had to learn to make it myself. We use cacao, but my main interest is still the inner work, the energy work, the inner processing, the teaching. I'm a teacher for how to get out of your own way, for how to open the magic of the being you came here to be. A few years ago, I met some crazy magic people who came from Colombia to visit in Guatemala and find out about cacao. I'm coming to visit these people, Gisela, Andres, and their friends. I'm coming to Pereira for the magic, for the fun. Come join us. In person or online. Allow yourself to get out of your own way. Open gifts that you came here with. Help this world, help other people, and for yourself, have more fun. Blessings to all beings.